So let's build a 3D plane detection 100% automated. So why do we go there? Actually, I get very often asked to generate floor plan from building scans, and we have to start somewhere. And the starting point is usually to try and detect the main structural elements, like the ceiling, the floor, and the walls. That are elements that will structure any building intelligence that we want to create, and that's why we can start there. Is AI the most definitive answer to get there? Not necessarily. If you look at on the web for 3D plane detection, you will often stumble upon RANSAC, so random sample consensus, which is a great starting point because you can optimize it with very specific tricks, but you still have to answer some questions like what about handling a lot of planes in a scene, or what are the parameters and how can we tune them automatically? And in real world scenario, how do you actually handle noise, occlusions, and all this kind of elements? So today I want to make sure that we build a solution professional that you can use directly for your goals based on many scans from indoor datasets. Okay, so if that's good, let's start and let me give you the solution in 9 steps. Okay, so before hopping onto the first step, we have to establish our canvas. What are we going to use? We are going to use Anaconda as a first-hand resort for now, right? Conda activate, and you activate your environment in which you want to build your solution. What we will use are 2 libraries. The first one is NumPy. You normally know this library for numerical computation. And the second one is Open3D to handle 3D stuff, right? So I will be using Spider for my IDE, and that's about it. As to the setup, it's very minimal, only 2 libraries. Now we can move on to the first stage, which is smart data analysis. Once you installed the library with pip, for example, pip installed something, you hop onto your IDE, Spider in my case, and you import NumPy, Open3D, and OS. This is to manage some stuff. All right, so the first thing is, what I do here is I will actually create a sample generated building scene. This is my function here that creates a floor, ceiling, planes, and walls. And just after that, I just make sure that we can load from our main hard drive a dataset that I have. And after that, I just define a function to visualize our scene. This will be very handy. Like through this tutorial, you will see that at every stage, I want to help you visualize what we are doing, and we'll use only this function. So let me execute this, Shift Enter. Access refused. This is okay. I think I need to set my console directory there, restart everything, we import, and here we go. So if I check my dataset, you can see here I will increase the points. This is our scene. So for now, the starting point is not an entire building. We are starting with only 1 room, but it's not very easy because you have especially here a wall that is a bit trickier than the other ones. All right, so from there we would like to extract the floor, the ceiling, and the main walls for starters. So the first thing that we do is actually go into this first stage, which is point cloud analysis and diagnostic. We want to understand the scan characteristic, mainly the noise levels, the point density, the spatial extent, all this kind of things that will drive the parameters choice down the line. So this is what we are doing. Here you see that I estimate the noise level and the quality. So if I do that, nothing will be printed out. I would just print out the diagnosis, and we see that we have around 100,000 points with a specific extent and an estimated noise ratio. So we should use that to build heuristics that will help define which RANSAC parameter to use. Okay, so now that that is done, we can go on to, let's say, adaptive parameter magic, which is our second stage. And in here, we want to analyze multiple resolutions. So that's the trick with an adaptive stopping criterion. And how do I do that is by building a voxel structure on top of my point cloud. So if you remember from previous tutorial, we just build this kind of grid like pixel-like but for 3D, and we'll use that to retain only a subset of the original size. So this is a very handy trick because instead of working full resolution, which demands a lot of compute, you will just work with small voxel-based sampling strategy, with some limitation being that you will not cope for, let's say, if you have uniform sampling where you have very dense area and some not other dense, you would always have something that is very regular. But usually that works very, very good for indoor data sets and for extracting the planar elements. So this is what you have here. If I increase the size of my points, in gray it's the original, and we have the first level in red and the second level, which is even more sample, in green, right? So you see that this is what we'll be using. It will be pretty handy at this stage. Okay, so now that we have our scale, we can move on to the third stage and create actually the scale point. So see here that we will retain, but we have only 2 scales. We don't retain the third scale, and this is just based on the number of points that I want to have at minima. This is for now enforced, but we can refine it with a bit of domain expertise. And this is where it's very important to keep this system one thinking in the age of AI. You cannot outsource everything to you Claude agentic workflow or any other one, because it will not be able to handle this kind of specific domain related expertise or 3D data science. All right, this is done. What about now the complete implementation? So we have our multiscale. How will we handle that with our workflow here? And this is done into our fourth stage, which mainly will try to move on to several stages. The first one is detecting plane at one specific scale. And then after, what I do is I do a hierarchical plane detection at the various scale, on which I will print out, and you will see what we have with various colors, what we have. So you can see here, I sample my point cloud that I got originally from my various scales. And for each scale, I will just color code if we actually detected a plane or not in this area. And you can see that these planes don't belong to anything or are not very samples. Here we have some, but below as well and above as well on the 2 resolutions. So it looks like it's working good. And the magic here is that I did not use or fine-tune any parameter. And you will be able to test that with your own data set. And this is what is fantastic. All right. A very quick tip here. It's a blend visualization with Open3D that I'm doing here. If you want to extend much more there, the first resource that I will highly recommend is the book that I wrote, 3D Data Science with Python. It's available with O'Reilly and on Amazon and other bookseller. It's a fantastic resource that I created, pouring all my knowledge and expertise in R&D and 3D development. So hopefully this will bring you a lot of tools at your disposal. All right. So here there is still one thing. It's that I ask for maximum number of plane to detect. If you want to bypass that, I have an adaptive hierarchical detection that will look out for stopping criterion, which is distance threshold to the plane, or max number of iteration, or min number of inlier. You have a lot of, let's say, criterion. And here, the very nice trick that I use here is that I will actually look at the percentage in man-made environment. From my experience, almost everything is man-made, so there is kind of a geometrical component to it. So you can tune, aside from that, number of point percentage, let's say relative percentage of point that will belong more or less to a structural element. And this is usually above 70%. So having that in mind, I will be able to check if we passed this threshold or not. If we did not pass the threshold, I will continue looking for planes with my multiscale RANSAC implementation until we reach out one of the thresholds that I have. So you see that we have something pretty nice, and we have actually all these planes with the addition of another one here and here that may be of interest or not. Okay, and this can be filtered out afterwards, and you will see that. For that, we have to validate somehow the planes that we generated, right? Is it something that makes sense, or is it something that brings absolutely no sense? This is very true, and I can search maybe a tutorial that I wrote some times ago on Medium. So let me search for it. Yeah, okay, so 3D model fitting with RANSAC. This is this article here that you have accessed, 40-minute reads, a very nice one. And what you see here is the various data sets that I applied RANSAC in, but here it's, if you want to understand the fundamental of RANSAC, this is very useful because I implement everything with NumPy, not Open3D here. And this is what I'm doing. And here you can see very clearly with the various iteration how it works. Okay, we resample 3 points and we extract plane from it. And you see that if you don't have any stopping criterion, you will have something that is that makes absolute no sense, like here. So, closing this open loop, back to our script, you have the ability now to validate and filter the planes. And this is what we are doing. And here, the criterion is the area. If we have too small an area that the plane represents, we'll filter it out. This is very basic, but this is really to make sure that you enforce some constraints. And this is what I do, and already some planes will disappear, which is a great thing to have. All right, so everything is there. Now it's time for refining and merging the multiscale approach. So we have prediction at a big scale and we have a prediction at a finer scale. And the idea is we should have a late fusion mechanism that seek out if for a same element we have the detection in both or not. You can extend this concept to multiple scale. I have actually the possibility to handle a 3 scale, but you can go beyond that, of course. And this is very, very cool. So this is what is happening here. And then after that, what I do is I create plane geometries. So I actually model, I go from point cloud to model, and this model, I want to enforce an orientation and a bit of a buffer, else it creates very, very long geometries that makes no sense. So this is what I do here. There is a bit of mumbo jumbo, but for most part, it makes sense. So if I execute this, you see that I have in gray some planes generated. And it's fantastic because you already have 1, 2, 3 walls, the floor and the ceiling. So it's perfect. I did no tuning, fine tuning of any parameter. This is all 100% automated. So this is something that you can plug into the backend of your online SaaS that works with point cloud and ingestion. So if you want to go onto digital twinning, simulations, or if you want to estimate in the real estate market, this is a fantastic tool to have. But of course, this is one component, and already at this stage I want to be a bit better as to only extracting the planes. What about trying to classify in an unsupervised manner, but also being very mindful of the compute that we use, so not going full AI at this stage. We'll go AI, but later on. And this will be another also part or another video. And to go a bit more, like a bit deeper, let's say, we can classify the planes based on their orientation. And there are 2 main orientations in structural computation. Mainly, you have everything that is horizontal, like the ground and the ceiling, and everything that is vertical, like all the walls, right? So this is what I have. I enforce my vertical components. And here, if you want to understand what's happened, you will see that I extract my plane model, and actually I will use the vectors, which are from the parameters A, B, C, and D. And you see that I will use the normal vector of my plane and check that against the normal vector of horizontal or vertical direction. And this is essentially based on eigenvalue and eigenanalysis. So again, this is super key to understand. And if you want to go deeper with PCA and eigenvalue analysis, I made a specific video on it to actually classify with 3D machine learning, or a tutorial as well. Great. Now we can, based on that, analyze the structure. That's what I have, and we classify it. So this is an extract of one plane. You can see it's red. It's vertical. So if I close normally, if it works good, yeah, you can see that we have generated 1, 2, 3 vertical plane and 2 horizontal plane. So it's wonderful with the floor and the ceiling classified. We don't make a distinction at this stage, but it will be easy, right? If you would like to distinguish between the floor and the ceiling, you can have a relative compute that will check if one element is above the other, vice versa. This will be robust because in multi-story kind of scenarios, either you process each room as its own and then you check all one with the other, or you have everything at once, and in this case you need to have stronger rules or have an AI model that do the heavy lifting for you. So it's not over yet, it's working good, but let's check a bit the maybe the performances, right, of our building intelligence scenario. So what we have here is what I wanted to talk to you just before. You see that I have some criterion, and this is based on my years of experience and practicing that I found that. So they will not hold entirely true for all scenarios, but nevertheless, knowing the limitation will give you a very good hint about is it useful for you or not. The performance is about the coverage of man-made structural structure, and here we see that 88% of the points fall within one of the planes that we detected. So it's very good, and we have only 5 planes. So what I was saying at the beginning holds true here. More than 70% of the points actually belong to a structural element, which is in our case the plane. We can extend that, right? With RANSAC, we only handle here planar structure, but you can go beyond. You use any mathematically defined geometry, and you will be able to detect that as well. So it's not finished. This is all within Python. Let me just show you what happens if you want to go outside of Python. So you can use this function to extract everything, and it's written in the, the results directory. So now I'm opening my script. So I have the code, the data, and the result. And now in the result, normally modified right now. Yeah, it's exactly. So I will launch Cloud Compare. You can launch any other point cloud viewer. Cloud Compare is very nice because it's open source. It's easy to set up, and it has nice functionalities also to prototype and test some functions. And I will just take everything, drag and drop it here, apply all, and that's it. What you can do is you select everything, you move that to one folder, and you delete all the others, which makes it handier. And now we have our point clouds with the various planes. So if I were to uncheck the meshes, you see that we exported them as meshes, and also we have each individual component as a plane. So this is fantastic. It's ready for any further process. So one thing that I teach a lot at the 3D Geodata Academy is how to create labeled dataset in an unsupervised manner. This is one way that you can play towards that, where you just basically have a labeling process that allows you to very quickly generate almost perfect labeled datasets that you refine manually. And then after that, once you have enough, you train an AI model to detect that for you in a supervised manner. So what about going beyond? So I give you logical steps that we do in the academy. Once you have all these elements, what can you do? So after that, if you want to push even further on your own, I will encourage you to detect wall or wall-floor intersection to create a building topology that makes sense. So that means corner identification. This is not super easy. After that, you can generate the room boundaries and you analyze the intersections. Then you identify the openings, doors, windows, and you detect the gaps. This is also not entirely easy. You see that you have some gaps or occlusion that we need to handle. And after that, you are actually ready to go into the spatial AI query system and generate the floor plan that we were talking about. So this is at the Academy. You have the various course line and program to follow there. I encourage you to check out the Segmentor OS. That will be very handy for you. But in any way, I hope this tutorial bring you a lot of value. Please don't hesitate to subscribe and hit the bell below, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.